just showing some presence as Calyx opens things up.
Immor's found himself his position with the dualies on ANUBIS. You get mollied out of it though, and that puts him in a very tough situation, and he's gone. Collins overwhelms him, and that's a great flick to find xFloud. He even takes himself a third as well. Collins gets that one, and Duplicate holds his flank. Major is gone and out of the round, and it's Calyx 1v2. It's a very even one as well. Now just one player remaining. Collins with those 3 kills, looking for 4 to clutch it, holding a big off angle. Calyx taking his time, and he hits the headshot. Calm, collected, cool. Calyx takes the pistol for Eternal Fire.
Good start as well. Very good start for, well, I guess you can say for both sides as well in a sense, because Partizan doesn't mean more than...
Collins picking up, flash coming in, xantares is ready and takes him out. Looking for a second, flashbang support from xFloud, and he sees the second as well. Immediate switch to the AK. And he's done his job. Off toward a site to help out elsewhere. Giving xantares an AK so early on in the CT side is always a bit scary.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely looking like it should be a clean round for Eternal Fire to see off xFloud to be tested. In comes the utility, the rotation. That could be beckoned over just yet. The Molotov will tick him. And a fourth lands the Kaluba. xantares is going to be tested with the AK. And it'll come up trumps as it's a Kaluba double.
And we're about to see the same pattern as map 1. It was back and forth with the force by battles. But Immor is looking to try and make that a possibility anymore for Partizan. Kaluba has the FAMAS. Emmy has the Galil. The 2 lesser rifles on the CT and T sides. And they've only got 68 points of health between them. Kaluba holding the line, just looks away, and now he's under a lot of pressure. Emmy could have a flank, but Kaluba somehow gets 2 from the mid-site pillar. How on earth has he got away with that one? Major doesn't have a defuse kit. He has to get out of there. Emmy has an AWP to pick up as well, and I think he's going to be able to escape with it. That is the perfect outcome for Partizan.
My gosh, what a round for Partizan to something. You know, what is the reason behind it? Of course, you know, so far setting the tempo, it seems to be working. Yeah. Because they're looking like they might be finding a fourth in a moment, but I think generally picking into that T-side is very risky.
It is, but maybe they just realise that at the moment, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, that in general this map is quite heavily favoured T. So
yes, yeah.
They're thinking to themselves, okay, let's try and get as many rounds as possible on the board early on. And as I said, not their pick. That's exactly why I'm having this discussion. He needs more information for kills because he's got no armor. The AWP was a glass cannon only. And the fact he goes down with nothing means it's going to be a free 4 for Partizan.
This is a little bit messy for Eternal Fire. They're in a really precarious spot now. I mean, they're not exactly loving life in the server. I think that's probably the best way to put it. They're currently down by 3 rounds and... well, it's looking like maybe only xantares be the one to save. In towards the next. Kaluba's going hunting. He'll find the first. It's a question and a case of can xantares keep that fabled AK-47 in his hands. If he can, it's a possibility of maybe somewhat of some success in towards the next. But you can hunt it. It's messy. Flash will come through. And Kaluba sees it off of ease.
Straight through mid. This is an interesting play. And xantares has been given no chance whatsoever. He's not entirely fully aware. He could be spotted. A bit of a barrel on that corner. They're going into a pretty significant stack on the A-bomb site right now. There's one player here, but Emmy's coming in on a late lurk, and xFloud had no idea. The spacing from Partizan there, catching Eternal Fire off guard. Another 3v2, and a tough retake with no kit.
This feels impossible. I mean, this feels already sort of dead in the water, trying to get some space over towards the A site. On a retake with the numbers are in your advantage, it just feels impossible. I think they've got to call this early doors once again and just go for a save call. It's really unfortunate to say, but they cannot afford it. I mean, looking over towards that long-term economy, it's dire. They want something to work with into the next. It's looking like they might just play exits here. Try and see if they can catch one in rotation, but Emmy will just slip the net. And Calyx, I don't think he's going to be able to make too much of a difference. He does hit a couple of bunny hops. Maybe the AWP possibly could be dropped off. And
push through the 2 mid doors. And while xantares was there defending it, one player was not enough. And now he's here once again. MP9, he's desperate for a second, knowing that he's still got a decent amount of bullets in the clip. But Roger's AWP is too strong. The flash assist was perfect for the first one. sent him in good time. But in the meantime, Emmy is looking toward the A bomb site. Emor is here. The timing doesn't work in his favour because they're both shifting at the moment. He's going to have to scope, and there's the information, but he finds Roger. That's a big pick, but Emmy is still lurking all the way around the back. A free kill. Oh, it almost wasn't. The switch around was almost in time. 2v2.
Bomb collected. What's the decision? It's looking like maybe actually might have
to do so now. Bomb tap will come in. No kit on either by a player. And Calix holds his teammates back. That kill had to come through because that would have been around for the Partizan. Than Emmy's position. So Emmy could catch off xantares here. If he throws one more piece of utility, I think Emmy will pounce while he's trying to withdraw his gun. There's the timing. He has to escape. He's now in trouble with xantares. Flicks around perfectly. If there's one player for this position, it would be xantares, and he gets away with his life and that one kill. Big stuff to get Eternal Fire back into this half. Taking Calix though. Major will have to go on a reface to take that kill, and that wasn't guaranteed. A bit spaced out on that trade. They get away with it and retain the man advantage.
Kalubinar's holding. It's a good call. Hold, wait, and see if he can catch a Eternal Fire member overextending. But speaking of exactly that, Imor will step up. Collins to fall, and as this smoke dissipates, Kaluba's life starts to go up in the air.
Yeah, this is basically impossible with the bombers. The player is close to that, but Major does go hunting. It might give Partizan a very slim lifeline. Bomb has now been collected. xCloud is in task with holding A, and at the moment, he's the only one here. Here's both players, and he can't get the first. That's unfortunate timing on that swing, and now Imor's been found by Kaluba. The round has turned on its head, and xantares, who fought for his life early round, is now low HP on the retake. He spots the first. Roger has to hop away, but both players are so incredibly low. The Molotov will keep him at bay, and then Kaluba comes.
And this could come back to bite them. Well, it looks like it will at the moment. Imor, at the very least, will start off round number 10 on a nice note.
Yeah, it's a pretty strange buy. It's a different weapon on every single one of the Eternal Fire players. Orp, Silence M4, Deagle, MP9, Org, of all weapons, which is still relatively viable, I will say. It's not the, even post-nerf, it's not, which obviously is quite a long time ago now, it's not really that bad at all. It's okay. It can be very effective. Partizan now 3v5. Nice jump throw Molotov. That does clear out some of the cubby, and that will force him more wide, and that's further back. There's the first. The fight flames to his advantage, and again, more kills coming back in Partizan's favour. But unfortunately, oh no. Now Major's shown his hand. I was about to say, unfortunately, Collins does not know Major's here, but now he does. Tries to swing for it, gets it, but thankfully...
No, I agree. There's some similarities for sure. I think this the map design is very interesting. It's very different to what we've seen kind of previously. More taking a step down, Molotov will be extinguished. He finds the first look at making a double. Can't quite step up, and now just a sliver of HP forward as he falls. And the rotation being beckoned over as the bomb dropped and even wielded. But still, Emmy stays alive somehow. 2 points of HP.
Yeah, xCloud staring at his teammates, saying to them, guys, I need to reload. Please bail me out. And they're about to. That was a well-played hold by Imor and xCloud. Both of them actually being on the site made that completely unexpected for Partizan. Usually you expect one player up, one player maybe mid, one player can play, and you can have a slight sight line above the smoke into this position that xantares might be peeking in a split second. Again, he's on the big off angle, but they just can't remove him from this position. Another headshot, a third headshot from xantares. Do you expect anything less? Three kills from him. He makes it look so easy. And now Duplicate is last alive.
I think the Duplicate, not long lived for this world, surely. Spotted now, he definitely has swing come through. Exactly that.
I don't know how to feel about that position because obviously, one, we don't necessarily know what res xCloud plays. Two, we don't know whether he plays right-handed or left-handed. Because if he plays 4x3 and plays right-handed, there is no way you would have seen Collins waiting there. I think on our widescreen, obviously the best res, probably we saw the edge of the gun barrel, the silencer of the M4 perhaps, but unfortunately not for him. 4v4 in the following round. Eternal Fire need a bounce back, and they need it quickly. Losing around like that is always a bit painful.
And now what's the plan? A lot of info heard by Calix. He heard 2 players rotate back and the bomb making its way down mid. Does he expect the 2 players close? Hopefully, holds down the fort. Calix will fall either way. Emmy, great shot from him, and a Molotov comes through, denies rotation.
Again. They're doing such a great job of weaseling out these players, right? They're just finding them in every single position, it feels like, on this particular site. Major does get one with a grenade, but Duplicate insta-trades it again, and once again, xFL is trying to pounce, and he gets caught by Roga. Switch to fall back toward A. Immor, ooh, hasty. Nextad is up close with the MP9 as well, getting baited in. There are 3 players coming his way. He's found one. Oh, what a pre-5 from Duplicate. Gives xCloud no chance whatsoever. Even though Major gets one, it's only going to be one, because he's being locked out from the site by Kaluba. Great stuff from Partizan. This is a solid T side. We don't know what the average is necessarily on ANUBIS as of yet, but we know it's a vaguely T-sided map. So I think a 10-5 would be a pretty good half for both teams to be content with. Calix has no chance in this one. He's 31 points of health and he's 2 insta-taps. And he doesn't know there's a player up to his top left as we look. Has to make noise dropping down. No kit. This one is said and done. And we're going into the half at 10-5 for Partizan.
Leads at the moment. Partizan on fire, leaning towards A, and they're flying in.
Oh, they are flying in, but I'll tell you who's flying. It's Kaluba and Duplicate. One behind the pillar, one up toward heaven. And it works for a couple of kills. Immor's got 1 bullet left in the clip, and he can't connect with it. So Kaluba finds him too. Major waiting for the flank. There are 2 players coming his way. Now it's all down to xCloud. They know exactly where he is. He's fighting his way out pretty nicely, but of course he does not have the bomb, which is the big issue. But Partizan now, after those 2 kills, have to play it slightly more careful.
Slow. What does xCloud do? He's had a slow performance so far.
30 seconds now. And a tunnel fire. Looks like B is the call. They're creeping back. There are 3 players on A, so the big rotation is going to have to come in, and now they can hit all the utilities. Xantares finds Collins, and that should be the opener. Emmy is in a big predicament. Major checks the smoke, as he so rightly should. He gets his just reward. Duplicate finding Xantares. Shouldn't be an issue for Eternal Fire. With Duplicate so low, I'm expecting a save.
xCloud, this is tough. I think as long as he doesn't get a test early doors, they should see us run off. No bother for Partizan. Well, we were hopeful maybe that a bonus could be converted to open the story up to looking towards Nuke. We can maybe slow things down momentarily, right? I think they're more than happy to kind of wield an AK double 5 in towards the next. The buy around it's going to be a little bit weird. Roga can drop, but if he wants utility, it might be a little bit all over the place. It will be a force buy, I've no doubt about it. Just how do they want to wield this? I'm assuming Roga... Well, very quiet now. I mean, initial points of utility coming through. It's looking like the call here by Eternal Fire is towards B. Pops on the orb, doesn't find its mark, and seconds of asking. Missing 2, and now he tucks in a horrible corner. Nades will rain through, and surely he'll fall.
My goodness. Absolutely peppered with grenades, and there we go. The combination of the damage, the grenade, and then finally the Molotov from Calix finishes off Partizan's AWPer. There are still 2 players ready and raring on the site, and a 3rd is rotating in as well. Eternal Fire taking their time, not wanting to do an overzealous peak of just 1 pick. Waiting to see if there's a flank coming in from behind. Immor, that's a big frag to take. He finds Kaluba on that rotation. He was a player that came through mid to help out the 2 players on the site. And he's been removed. As Xantares is waiting for any mid information as well. That 1 step that he just made probably would have been heard by Collins. And now he's certainly been heard. But it looks like they are committing toward B. And right now the only player there is Emmy. Getting up across the map. If he can get himself 2 kills, that would be amazing. But when you're getting swung on by basically the entire Eternal Fire squad, you've got no chance. And that means that the save has to be called.
Yeah, surely now, right? Bomb goes down with 2 many alive towards Partizan. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can really have to work with this. An exit frag collector, him all will fall, but is he going to make a difference in the long term? The grand scheme? No, not at all. They do have to just try and fall away. And xCloud is going for a bit of a hunt, and I actually get a bit of timing to work with. He potentially Could catch Collins. Back turn. Will look the right way. Spots with the right time as well. Collins thought he'd just got out of dodge. Little did he know that xFlower was lurking and waiting in the shadows. Only one remains. It's just duplicates. And he should be fine to save here, realistically. xFlower still looks for that final one in the hunt. Find him? The answer's no. Duplicate will see him off.
Mid being taken. xantares has moved up. Kaluba's on the other side. Taken down for free here. Oh my goodness. Calix has... I've never seen a bigger save in my life. Apart from when I watched James save on Inferno, of course. But that was an absolute bailout from Calix. Wow. How is xantares alive?
Things do go a little bit quiet, a little bit ominous. A couple of flashes coming through. What will Turn of Fire do from here? They've got the numbers to work with. Duplicates is still lurking. And he spotted the bomb. It's dropped in the open like a present as he sees it roll in front of him. And a pop shot from the AWP misses. This is really, really dicey, but thankfully Major steps up for a double. That's huge. As the bomb goes down too, little do they know. And over, lurking, is xantares waiting for his opportunity. He might just get it.
Yeah, and as you say, I mean, little do they know, Collins, he has no idea that they're all so low, really. It would have been a slight chance if he had a kit, but as you say, this save attempt is about to be cancelled out unless he switches round in a matter of seconds. Right now he's in a pretty decent spot, actually. Not something you necessarily hard clear. Let's see how far xantares pushes forward. Here we go. Does he check his left? Does he check his low? He does! See you later. Utility already running a little bit low on the CT side. They've got 3 smokes left with a minute to go. Which is okay, but they're about to be smoked off themselves, and Roger is now caught behind that with the AWP. And he's really been locked out well by a tunnel fire in this half so far, it feels like. Collins playing behind the same pillar as last round, but this time he doubles up, gets 2. Really well played, and he takes him a long time for xantares to clear it out. 3v3, now 2v3, now 1v2 for xFlower. The trades are wild. Roger decides to go aggressive as he was locked behind that smoke, goes through it, repositions, and gets himself a double. And with the bomb in the middle of nowhere, this is so hard for xFlower to cross. Got no utility to do so either. Has to peek directly into it, and Roger back now.
Yeah, exactly that, exactly.
Saved him from the misery of Titans.
God, yeah, unfortunately what a mess that project was. And this could get very messy here. There you go, holding. Major caught on the swing. And a second foul is all by Duplicate, but quick trade by Calix. And that'll crack open the A side like a walnut.
How has he got that second? That has to have been a spray transfer as Roger tried to reface to get the insta trade. That's not necessarily Roger's fault, I feel like, because that is the way to play it. You've already baited in your M4, then the M4 should bait in you to keep getting that man advantage. But as it is, xFlower is now holding off this retake. Collins, gun barrel spotted, 1 bullet needed, taken down, Emmy looking for a trade, can't get it, and Calix is holding the flank, Kaluba removed, Emmy 1v3, Grenade removes the first, and he has a defuse kit. He's creeping toward the bomb, but Immor's refusing to peek.
Just going to fall away off the back of it.
Oh, they're truly rolling the dice now, straight through the underpass smoke. But of course, even slight movements, even while shifting in the water, does make a sound cue. It makes a tiny splash, and if there's any player around and about, it will be heard. And Emmy on his advance will get removed. xantares adjusts, is shocked by Collins being there, but he hits the few bullets required. 5v3, sure, a player low, but Immo will be given the AK so xantares can play more defensive on that low health. And Eternal Fire are creeping toward this finish line, and a match up against Sprout with Pro League on the line.
Very slow, very quiet. Right now, Eternal Fire just trying to use their numbers advantage to make sure that they're close enough to play the trades. The spacing's actually really good in this instance because utility over towards the CT side is pretty minimal. Just one Molotov, 1 flash, 1 smoke across the board, and as the utility rains out on towards B, it is just going to be a safe call. There's no way they're going to send the AWP over to test those waters. that means Eternal Fire lock themselves into 15 and maybe Trav locking themselves into guaranteeing a 2-0 in the series. And from what a close competition these two sides have had, I think a lot of credit has to be given to Partizan as well. A very overlooked side by many people, myself included, but they have really come out flying and fighting the entire way. But unfortunately, I think a mental block the second they hit that 7-round buffer, they just couldn't find any success in their CT side, and it's cost them the opportunity to compete in the series.
Yep. They seem to be on the right track, though. And don't forget, there is a lower bracket, so they will be playing in that lower bracket. No chance for Kluber to save in that corner. Calyx says
it's grim, and they need some miracle.
Well, they do. Can Eternal Fire finish off the job? 12-5 behind to 15-13 ahead. Flashbangs are so good. I've got to give Eternal Fire so much props with how their executes have been played in this T-side half. They've been locking out Partizan time and time again with the combination of Molotov, smokes, flashes, giving them no chance to even shoot back. And now, that grenade, while it may be perfect, they're 4v5 to save the game. Major knows that he shouldn't be pushing that back into the cubby. The trade is instant from xvloud. 4v3. Players coming in. Kluber gets one more. Great shot from Collins. Back into a 2v2. Calyx position shown. He gets removed by Collins as well. It's all down to Immor. Roger's trying to bait him out, and Collins has the defuse kit, so he can just hold this one, and Roger can peek it. There's the first pick. Comes in for the second. On the bomb.
GG.